Hey, what's up guys? This is Cole with CJC Off-Road, and today we're bringing you this 2020 Ram 3500 build. We're super excited to show this to you because this is one of the few long beds we featured on this channel. So let's go ahead and check out what we've done so far. So what we have here is a 2020 Ram 3500 Limited. This is a crew cab long bed. Customer brought to us bone stock, obviously. And what we've outfitted this truck with is a fully loaded Carli Dominator 3¼ inch system. So this Dominator system, we've probably talked about this before, but this features Carli's weld-on lower shock mounts in the front, the upper weld-in isolators for the coil springs. In the rear, this setup actually uses a custom weld-in upper shock mount. Carli did a lot of unique things for these Dominator systems to allow people to run 3.0 shocks on these trucks. Trucks with this system on them are the best riding Ram 3500s we've ever encountered. So better than the commuter or the backcountry pin top. And the reason for that is Carli's 3.0 Dominator shocks, because the shocks are so big and because they have so much damping, the size of the shock and the piston inside of it's actually doing a lot to control the weight of the truck. And so this gives Carli the opportunity to tune these shocks very light. So what you end up with is a super soft riding setup on the street, but also a shock that's able to control the harder hits. You know, so you hit a big giant dip with it, you take it off-road, the truck's very composed. In fact, even more so than the 2.5 setups. So if there ever was, I'd say, a jack of all trades system, these Dominators are it. They do cost a little more than the average system, but you know, as far as getting the benefits from a high-end suspension system like what Carli offers, there's nothing quite like the Dominator on these trucks. So this customer opted for something pretty unique. When we're special ordering kits, like the kit that went on this truck, we can actually order custom spec shocks through King. So what the shocks are on this truck is black Cerakoted bodies, gold anodized caps, and actually fin reservoirs from King. It's a pricey option, so you know this is probably about $2 more than what you'd spend on a typical Dominator shock package. But I'd say the results speak for themselves. It's a really cool looking setup that kind of helps set this build apart from other builds. As far as upgrades from Carli, this has pretty much everything available for this year truck. So it has the fabricated radius arms, a torsion sway bar, and this customer actually opted for a custom steering stabilizer setup. So super cool combination on this build. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to ask about towing, as this is a 3500. So this truck does have Carli's full progressive rear leaf springs. Carli's full progressive rear leaf springs, if not supplemented with airbags, they're designed to retain 85% of the factory rear weight capacity. For a lot of guys towing, you know, more casual things like boats or things like that, that's a super functional weight capacity, right? For those that are looking to retain, you know, more along the lines of the full 3500 rear weight capacity, you have the option to run Carli's rear long travel airbags. They're a super cool upgrade because what Carli did with those bags is they designed them to actually fully cycle as if they weren't there. So you're still getting full functionality of those Carli rear springs and shocks. But with the Carli bags, you can pump air into them when you go to tow with it, and then they're actually helping to supplement that 15% capacity loss that you typically see with full progressive leaf springs. So there are a lot of different ways to equip these systems, you know, depending on your particular usage, and which is why we actually encourage people, if they have questions, you know, how to dial one of these setups in for your specific use. Obviously, feel free to reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us an email. We're more than happy to help you figure out the exact specifications for your build. These 3500s are super cool because if you're actually using the truck as a heavy duty truck, you can benefit in both ways, right? So we've had a lot of people over the years kind of not believe us, right? They go to the dealership, they're like, there's no way this 3500 truck can ride nicely. And so they still buy the 2500, even though they're gonna be towing a fifth wheel with it, right? The 3500 trucks, while out of the box, ride horribly. Like this truck was, stiff as heck when it came to us. They, once all this stuff's done to it, the full Carli system, the rear spring, sway bar, all that, it's night and day. Like this truck actually rides, I'd say, more on par, if not softer than a lot of F-150 or Ram 1500 setups. That's the kind of level of ride quality that Carli's actually able to squeeze out of these systems. So a lot of benefits to going with the 3500. We've talked about that in other videos before, but we can't emphasize this enough, especially for you guys who are shopping for new trucks. Wheel and tire wise, this truck ended up on Innov8 G600 wheels with gold anodizing. You'll notice these wheels stick out a little bit further than what we feature in most of our videos. This customer actually opted for 4.5-inch back spacing. So this is a very wide, very aggressive setup. In fact, even with the factory flares on this truck, you'll notice the tires actually stick out a couple inches. Really cool looking setup. Keep in mind, this customer was okay with us cutting and trimming his brand new, limited truck, right, to fit these wheels and tires. If you really, really stuff this truck hard enough, you can still make it rub with this wheel and tire combination, which is why we typically, with the Dominator systems, we recommend 5-inch back spacing. It's more of a happy medium between, clearance and trimming and all that sort of thing. You'll notice the black Tech Light rings on these wheels as well. Really cool looking setup. And then these tires are the 37 by 13.5 by 17 Toyo MTs. These are actually about the widest tires you can get on these trucks. In fact, if you measure this tire off the truck, it actually measures like closer to like 15 inches wide. So it's actually wild just how large these tires are. It's actually amazing what a little trimming can do. The fact that we're able to fit, 4.5-inch back spacing wheels with these tires under this setup with only 3.25 inches of lift. So again, we wanted to show this to you guys to kind of show some different combinations on these trucks. You see, something a little different as far as wheel offsets than what we normally run. You can see a long bed. A lot of guys like to visualize, prior to putting their build together. So we hope this helps you guys out. Appreciate you guys watching this video. We have a lot more of these build features coming shortly. So if you want to see more of this sort of thing, feel free to subscribe. Thanks.